The city, Atlanta, Georgia, a cradle of Southern civilization and a place with a past. The event, the 48th Annual Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament, where 9 teams converge and clash to claim bragging rights and an automatic bid to the NCAA dance. It's the most prestigious of conference tournaments, and it's got some history of its own. The building, the Georgia Dome, one of Atlanta's most modern structures, and about to become the loudest place in town. More than 180,000 fans would rock the stands throughout the weekend, the largest crowd ever to witness an ACC tournament. The Georgia Dome was a new locale for the ACC contest. Even so, much of the 2001 tournament was deliciously familiar. The pundits were there, both professional
Battier, it's been unbelievably a thrill to cover him for 4 years.
and amateur.
Do you guys have a prediction today?
Yes, Carolina in 1.
Cinderella stories. Cinderella stories.
Make it to the championship, to the tourney. Don't worry about it.
The devoted fans made the trip.
Having a great time in Atlanta. Atlanta's always a great place to have a tournament.
What do you think about having it in your own backyard?
It's awesome. You don't have to ride as much in the car. It's great.
Go Terps!
Show me some heads.
Not to mention the delightfully subtle tailgaters. And on the court, the 2001 tournament had the hustle, the passion, the drama.
Almost stolen. Dixon in the corner. Hits the three-pointer. Wow!
And the sheer excellence that marks every ACC competition, regardless of location. The 2001 tournament returned to its old format, meaning that only one game was played on Thursday. And on opening night, the stage belonged solely to Clemson and Florida State. The Tigers of Clemson University took the floor to settle an old score, or make that 2 old scores, since the men in orange had fallen to the Florida State Seminoles twice during the regular season.
Fight, 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 fight!
The Clemson faithful were there and were, as always, faithful.
They started in the womb. I came to the ACC tournament when I was pregnant with both of these kids, and we couldn't leave them out.
For Florida State, the incentive was simple: just win.
So we have to take care of today, and if today takes care of today, then we'll have tomorrow. And then, you know what, we'll worry about that. What a great problem to have, to play 4 games in a row. What a great problem for us to have. We'll take it.
20 seconds after tip-off, Florida State had no problem going to the hole.
Joyner fronts up, goes left side, cut off by House, slam dunk Joyner. Great left foot step on the baseline. 2-0 FSU.
But Clemson answered back and made some noise of their own.
Solomon, Will takes it down to the corner, jumps a 3 and got it. Will Solomon nails a 3. Down on the baseline, here's Nagise with a jumper, good, and a nice entry pass that time by Solomon.
But Florida State regrouped and scored in the waning seconds of the first half to go up by 3 at the break.
Dixon puts up the shot. It counts at the buzzer. Dixon would not be denied. Battle for the offensive rebound. Took it away from a guy in orange. It's Knowles 30. Clemson 27.
Clemson was down, but still had 20 minutes to seek revenge. The Tiger turnaround started with a Ray Henderson layup to bring the Orange within 1. Moments later, Clemson surged ahead.
Clemson Tiger fans with something to cheer about now.
Woo! Tigers!
Henderson, whose 15 points led the Clemson scores, gave the Tigers a 7-point lead with this jam.
Boy, oh boy, we bit on a screen and a fake. We were going with Solomon and a slam dunk, an easy 2 by Henderson.
The Seminoles kept the pressure on, but Will Solomon's fast break 3-pointer sealed the Tiger victory as the Seminoles ran out of luck.
3-ball launch, that hurts.
And out of time. For FSU, it was wait till next year. And for the Tiger faithful, it was, well, they'll tell you.
We're in, baby. We're in like queen, yeah.
Clemson Tigers, baby. It don't get no better than this. Woo!
Frantic Friday at the Georgia Dome. You got the time, we got the basketball. 4 consecutive games featuring some of the nation's finest teams.
It's the best day because that's when everybody's out. You see all the colors and everything.
Maryland #1. Maryland!
Woo! The fans are loving it. It seems like the fans are enjoying everything. Go Dixon. Go Dixon. Hey. And I'm quite sure the city making a lot of money off of this one.
So get off the phone already and take a walk into the wild side. The Dome awaits.
Good morning. Welcome to the Georgia Dome, home of the ACC. Thank you.
It may seem like a long shot, but Clemson shooting for a victory against top-seeded Carolina.
Well, we're praying.
It can happen. In fact, it already had 2 weeks earlier.
What was the most exciting game you guys ever?
Well, we beat North Carolina.
So, what do you think's going to happen today?
We're going to win.
I think our boys going to step up today, though. They're going to pull out another win, just like they did last Sunday.
Of course, Carolina remembers that regular season matchup, too.
Well, hopefully it's not a game that Matt had to motivate him very much for because Clemson beat him a couple of weeks ago, and they should be ready to play.
From a motivation standpoint, Carolina's licking their wounds from the Clemson game, and I've been there a lot of times in this tournament playing that same group in blue. They're tough.
Clemson had motivation of its own. The stage was set for the rematch. And it didn't take long for either team to strike.
Right away, Carolina goes on the quick offensive attack to Chris Lang, turns baseline, short jumper, right over the top of Henderson is good.
Solomon's down on the left side. Will stops, pops for 3, and he got it.
Brings it front court for the Tigers, drives back out to Clifton, pumps the 3, good! And it's 8-4 in favor of Clemson. Forte down against traffic, back to Curry, driving layup is good from the left side.
Clemson kept it close and flirted with a lead.
He'll stop and pop. The shot is good, and the Tigers take the lead at 10-8.
Then the Tar Heels dug deep and shot ahead.
Left side to Forte. Forte with a bounce pass over to Boone. Shot from the right, good for 3. Adam Boone.
The Tigers and the Heels clawed their way through the first 20 minutes.
Clemson won 7 down, trying to retake the lead.
With 5 minutes left in the half, Clemson took the lead on a Will Solomon tray.
Here's Solomon for 3. Got it. 33-30. Solomon with his 3rd three-pointer of the half.
Then a giant named Jason Capel awakened.
Man, he just boomed that one down, 36-35.
The dust from the first half settled with Carolina clinging to a 5-point advantage. When the teams returned to the floor, not much had changed. Carolina was in a zone, driven by a hot hand named Capel.
Capel has knocked out another 3, and it's an 8-point North Carolina lead.
But Clemson continued to hang tough. Little by little, the Tigers chipped away at the Tar Heel lead. Then with 16 minutes left in the game, Tony Stockman tied the score with a jumper. Was another upset in the making? Not this time. The Tar Heels sprang to life on both ends of the court.
Knocked away from him. Morrison's got it.
Joseph Forte laid it in, and suddenly Carolina was up by 12. The Tar Heel rampage left Clemson shell-shocked. But it was all smiles for those men in blue. Carolina shot over 50% from the field to tame the Tigers and advance to the semifinals. Speaking of guys shooting the ball, it's amazing who you run into at the ACCs. Ralph Sampson still finds the tournament pretty special.
Being at the best conference and the best league in the country, coming in a facility like this, seeing 40,000 people, just for the tournament alone, it shows the power of the conference. So it's always good to come back and see the excitement around the tournament, see people that either rooted for you or rooted against you, and see old friends.
The next game pits Sampson's alma mater, the University of Virginia Cavaliers, against the hometown favorites, the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. The Cavaliers were coming off a season to shout about. having beaten Carolina, Duke, and Maryland in Charlottesville. But they'd suffered 2 defeats at the hands of the Jackets, who boasted a charismatic new coach in rookie leader Paul Hewitt, a talented center named Jones, and some serious hair. UVA aimed to win its first ACC tournament game since 1995.
Hi, Brian. I'm too old. I'm going to join your bond. Game time, baby.
So Akins trying to get away from Adam. Babel up front, and the jump shot. He's short, and the rebound. Adam.
In the game's early moments, it looked very much like neither team had come to play.
0 for 11 now, or 0 for 12, these two schools.
2.5 minutes had elapsed before the Cavs' Roger Mason broke through and scored. Seconds later, Tech's Alvin Jones answered back, and the Jackets were on the board. Virginia combined some pretty shooting with solid defense to surge ahead by 7.
Mathis coming outside, sends it in the corner to Chris. Chris drive, lane right to the blocks, the floating, good run, jump shot by Chris Williams.
But Tech came roaring back. Behind dominant play by Jones, the Jackets swarmed Virginia on both ends of the court.
Working around the top of the circle, in the corner, Akins, a 3 to tie, good. 69th three-pointer of the year for Akins. We're locked up at 11. Here's Hand the other way. Get it out of here. Alvin Jones swats it.
Robert Brooks put an exclamation point on the Jackets' 9-0 run with a jumper that put Tech up by 2, which is where they remained at halftime. UVA returned to courtside, determined to score.
Chris Williams at the wing left. Chris sends it right. Roger Mason for the 3. The play, got it! 27-26.
Which is just what they did on 2 quick trays by Roger Mason to reclaim the lead. The Cavs continued to attack, scoring from all distances.
Donald inside, throws up the prayer, can't get it. Tap, Donald, no good. Watson, rebound, left hand. Watson with a follow.
Donald Hand's fast break to the hole gave the Hoos a 5-point lead, and Cavs fans in the stands are reason to shout. But Tech can drain a few downtown shots themselves.
Akins, 22 feet, jumper good.
And Jones continued to dominate, scoring almost at will and stifling Cavs shooters for a total of 8 block shots on the day.
Hand attacking on the drive. Puts it up. Jones blocked it away. Alvin Jones rejects another one. Lob for Alvin. He'll turn, put it up, score, and draw the foul.
With 49 seconds to go in the game, Jones iced a jumper in the paint to put the Jackets up by 4. Moments later, John Babel drew a foul and went to the line. Babel's tosses ended the Hoos' hopes for victory. Cavs fans were disappointed, but in the parents section of the Tech stands, the celebration had begun. The Golden Boys were flying high and heading to the semis. We're at halftime on Frantic 4-Game Friday. Time to chat with a couple of people, living beings, who make a habit of being, well, frantic.
Probably the most fun I've ever had in college. It's a combination of meeting a lot of people, just being yourself, getting to do stuff that you normally don't get to do in normal public, like stealing a purse or just flirting with girls. It's a good time.
It's great. It's the best job I've ever had, and I would do it forever if I could. There's definitely a persona. When you're the Blue Devil, you're the Blue Devil, and you act crazy and you do fun stuff. But as a normal person, it's a little bit different. But you take on this different character when you become the Blue Devil.
The Blue Devils team, Duke University, is about to take on North Carolina State's Wolfpack. State fell twice to the Devils during the regular season. Any words of advice from a Pack legend?
Well, they have to play real good defense like they always do, but they also have to make a higher percentage of their shots. I think if they shoot over 50%, they have a good chance to win.
State began the night well, drawing first blood with an Anthony Grundy layup. Grundy continued his inside assault and scored some easy Pack points.
Miller will drive toward the lane, kicks it outside to Grundy. He penetrates down the lane. The running one entered good on the running layup, and he's fouled.
Duke, in the meantime, played the way they had played all year long. Sound, fundamental ball on both ends of the court. The Pack held tight with crafty defense and some pesky shooting of their own.
It is stolen away by Damian Wilkins, passes away to Grundy, drives the baseline, layup counts, and a foul on the play.
Ron Kelly's tap-in of a Grundy shot put State up by 3 with 8 minutes remaining in the half. But Duke stormed back with another Devil trademark, deadly perimeter shooting.
Right-hand corner, cross-court skip pass to Battier in the corner to James for 3. Got it.
The defending ACC champs went on a 12-0 tear that put Duke up by 9. Duke's hot hand continued through the end of the first half. The Devils' sure shooters sent State to the locker room, down by 15.
To Duhon, to Jason, over to Shane from the corner for 3. Bottoms, how sweet it is!
State returned for the second half, knowing it had to play flawless ball to catch the Devils.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to turn around. It really is.
But for every triumphant trip to the hole for the Pack, Duke had a response.
Gives it over to Duhon. He'll race front court, goes by his man to the hole. Jumper up and in.
And the Devil defense continued to swarm, driving State and its fans to distraction.
Loops it ahead. Nate James ahead of the Pack, literally and figuratively for the dunk.
The Pack lost its focus completely, while Duke kept its eyes on the prize. Duke players and fans were all smiles as the Devils eliminated the Wolfpack and blew into the tournament's Final Four. In the wake of the Duke victory, the Demon Deacons took the court, ready to battle Maryland's Terrapins. The Deeks boast generations of loyal, ambitious fans. The Deeks have ambitions too. In what would prove to be his last ACC tournament coaching Wake Forest, Dave Odom would like nothing more than to beat Gary Williams' team, two-time victors over Wake in 2001. The Terps scooted out to an early lead on strong shooting by Lonny Baxter and Terrence Morris.
Now here's Blake, lofts it down low to Morris with a quick shot, and it's good.
Then Odom's team awakened.
Howard goes inside. Here's Scott to fire. A little three-footer off target. Rebounded Shoemaker. Couple of fakes up for the shot. Good, and a foul. Maybe that'll give the Deeks a little bit of a lift. Away goes to O'Kelly. Now into Darius Ngala. Reverses the layup with the left hand. He scores his first basket. And it's 12-9.
The Deacons tied the score on Robert O'Kelly's three-pointer. Maryland kept the pressure on Wake with quickness, good passing, and surefire shooting. Wake managed to keep the score close with some fast breaking and long scoring of its own.
Stolen away by Howard. Ahead of the Pack. He will take it in, and good game. Howard has his 8. Here's Murray to Sangala at the 18-foot mark. Jump shot. Good. Sangala nails his second bucket.
The teams left the court at the break with Maryland up by 5.
Dixon down the right side. In the corner, Blake from 3. Got it.
The Terps continued their sharp play in the second half.
Morris picks up the loose ball. Here's Steve Blake. Pulls up. He'll shoot from outside. Back-to-back triples for Blake.
Lonny Baxter did some Deacon demolishing on both ends of the court.
Back up high to Morris, heading toward the basket, gives to Baxter in for a dunk.
And the Terp fans were loving every moment. The Deacon players, in the meantime, had turned stone cold.
Up top, Sangala, he'll fire it. Jump shot, gonna be no good.
Robert O'Kelly was the sole bright spot for Wake, scoring 20 in his last ACC tournament game. But it was a Terrapin night as Maryland sent a message to opposing teams. Be warned.
I think they showed the kind of team that they are. They're a team that's capable of beating anybody and doing so convincingly.
The Georgia Dome may be a new site for the ACC tournament, but on Saturday morning, something very traditional is going on in the stadium parking lot. Welcome to the land of the camera shy.
I'm right here. Hello.
The overeducated.
See, I've been going to school in Maryland for 15 years now. I'm still a sophomore, but I'm working close to my degree. I believe Maryland's going to win.
the always diet conscious.
So what you got cooking there? Smells pretty good there.
Got a little bit of prime rib. Got some steaks, jambalaya, portobello mushrooms.
Now, what does that combination spell?
Indigestion.
And the completely sports obsessed.
Not a doubt in my mind, Carolina will be in the final. Of course, with food like this, it don't really matter.
Land of the tailgaters. In neutral territory, opposing flags wave next to one another. Close friends converge and, well, agree to disagree.
It's Tar Heels.
The Heels, man.
I think it's going to be Maryland's day today.
ABC, baby, anybody but Carolina.
It's the Terps, baby, all the way.
Maryland, wonderful, wonderful. We want Duke and Carolina tomorrow. Enough said.
We'd expect no less.
Who let the Terps out? Who let the Terps out? Who?
Above all, tailgaters of the Dome have their priorities straight.
Good time and good fun and good food. See you guys later. I go get
Meanwhile, back at courtside, fans are gathering signatures and some fine music's playing. Carolina and Georgia Tech are gearing up to play one another in the first semifinal matchup of the day. Everyone seems pretty relaxed. Of course, the game hasn't started yet. Tip-off's approaching, and things are getting more serious. Then the game began.
Works up top, back to Eisenhower, down to Jones. Alvin with a dunk, and Tech leads 2-0.
And Georgia Tech looked positively menacing coming out of the gate.
Akins, the bounce pass, to fine reverse layup, and it's 4-0 in favor of the Jackets.
Carolina began sluggishly as the yellow-hot Jackets shoot their way to a 7-point lead.
In the corner to LeBerry, Morrison's there up the sideline to Akins. Akins over the top of Forte for a second three.
But the Tar Heels kept digging, and in time, they found their groove. Jason, the ever-capable, nailed a three to tie the score at 23. Guided by the intense passion of their rookie coach, Carolina muscled its way to a 5-point halftime lead.
Going to the goal, hesitates, scores, and draws the foul. Beautiful move by Forte.
Speaking of Carolina muscle, some of the strongest athletes on the Tar Heel campus take the floor during the courtside breaks. Think anyone can be a Carolina cheerleader? Think again.
Basically, we asked a few requirements. We asked that they be able to do a standing back tuck, standing back handspring back, and a stretch full. That's a stunt.
Add to that the fact that cheerleaders land their tumbles on a wood floor rather than on a soft mat, and you have a difficult elite sport worthy of full attention.
I think it's become more recognized for the difficult sport that it is. I played every sport under the sun, and it was the hardest thing I ever did.
At the start of the second half, Carolina continued its scoring tear and its sideline emotion. The Tar Heels stretched their lead to 11 with 2 consecutive Max Owens buckets. Then Tech began to chip away.
LeBerry back to Akins, shoots over Morrison and scores for 3.
On a 3-point inside play by T.J. Vines, the Jackets tied the score.
Layup is good and a foul. Oh, the midget went into trees and scores the goal.
And seconds later, Robert Brooks laid up and Tech nudged ahead. Carolina was down, but by no means out. Owens passed to Capel, who laid it in to tie. And seconds later, Capel returned the favor, dishing off to Owens. Max's jumper put the Heels ahead. Down the stretch, the Tar Heels held on to a tenuous lead.
60-56, fine bounce pass to LeBerry, controls it.
It was nail-biting time in the Tar Heel stands as the final minutes became final seconds.
Score 64-63, North Carolina, 46.2 seconds. We got it. Don't worry. No problem. Thanks. Go Heels!
We are ahead 66-63 with 24.9 seconds left, and we're going to win this game. How about that?
And how about this? Julius Peppers is all alone in the Tech backcourt, and he slams it home. In his first ACC tournament as Tar Heel coach, Matt Doherty has led his team to the final. And for Paul Hewitt's Tech team, there was little shame in defeat.
I just told them I thought you can't get more from a group of guys than I think we've gotten this year. It's a group of young men who play hard, they play unselfishly, they play together.
While we're on the subject of coaches, let's catch up with two of the finest ACC leaders in history, Lefty Driesell and Norm Sloan, who faced one another in perhaps the greatest ACC tournament game in history, the 1974 final between Maryland and North Carolina State.
I don't know whether it's a fond recollection or not, but the game that we played in the championships of 1974, the championship of the ACC, finest game I've ever been associated with. And I don't know, how can you score 100 points, shoot 62%, have 3 turnovers, and lose a ball game? It blows your mind. But he's a great coach, and I've loved my relationship with him.
Well, I think we got beat by a great team. In fact, Norman will tell you, I went on a bus after the game and told him, you guys are going to win it all, and I'll be your biggest fan.
He sure did.
Lefty Driesell was the Terrapin coach the last time Maryland won an ACC tournament back in 1984. What does he think of this year's Terp team?
I think they're capable of winning this tournament and going a long way in the NCAA.
What do you think they have to do to beat Duke today?
Score more points.
Meanwhile, Maryland and Duke fans are adding a new meaning to the term "in your face," but it's all for a good cause.
What's up with the face paint, man?
I was just trying to get ready for the game, you know. I thought a little face paint wouldn't hurt, so I went for it.
Think it's going to help you?
I hope so.
It's not easy watching your kid lose face, but some parents are willing to make the sacrifice.
What would a father let his son paint his face like that for? What reason? What one reason?
Anything to get a Duke win today.
We need a big win today against Maryland.
Are you going to keep that face paint for a couple days?
Probably about a week.
Now, what would draw a mother to allow her son's face to be painted?
Because he wanted to.
So this is parental control here?
Yeah, it's better than a tongue ring.
What about the war paint here? Is it going to be a war today?
No, it's going to be all Maryland.
Let's have fun, play hard, listen to us. Great year, both of them. Let's go.
But the Duke-Maryland game would indeed be a war. In fact, it would prove to be one of the most intensely fought tournament battles in ACC history. The drama began with a tremendous Terrapin run as Maryland scored the first 4 times they touched the ball.
Here is Morris backing in, going around Battier. Layup is good. Morris has both the Terrapin points.
Duke had a devil of a time finding their game. In fact, it took them a full 4 minutes to land a shot, a drought that left the Blue Devils seeing red. Lonny Baxter scored inside to put the Terrapins up 10-0.
He banks it home off the glass.
Duke finally got on the board with a Nate James jumper, good for 3.
Williams on the right wing in the paint. Jump pass up top to Duhan. He'll throw up a floater and got it. And the Terrapin lead, which once was 10, is now down to 5.
Then Duke tied the score on a Shane Battier 3 and a Williams fast break.
It's Jason Williams around Blake, throws up a runner in the paint and hits it, and we're tied at 12.
Maryland regained momentum.
Morris to Nichols. 10-footer left side of the baseline is good.
So the war paint's working, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, everyone should get this stuff. It really works.
But Duke charged back again. With a minute left in the half, Juan Dixon launched a Terrapin 3-pointer. Seconds later, Baxter showed his stuff, and Maryland was up by 3 at the break. The Blue Devil squad that took the floor for the second half was a team on fire.
Here comes Jason to the three-point arc. Stops, pops, and scores. How sweet it is.
Fueled by their twin All-Americans, Duke went on a perimeter binge.
Good stroke, another three-pointer. They have hit 3 straight from beyond the arc. Williams to Duhan. Down the paint, a runner with 2 hands and a slam for Chris Duhan.
Chris Duhan's fast break dunk sent the Devils ahead by a dozen. But in this game, no lead, no matter how large, would be safe. Slowly, the Terps began to come back. Duke was still hitting threes.
Jason will take a deep 3, makes it! Oh my goodness!
But so was Maryland.
Almost stolen, Dixon in the corner, hits the three-pointer. Wow!
As the Terps narrowed the gap, all eyes were on the action, both in the stands and behind the stage. Danny Miller landed a three, and suddenly the Terps were ahead.
Long pass cross court to Miller. He's wide open. He'll take a three. He'll make a three.
20 seconds later, Mike Dunleavy's jumper regained the lead for Duke. With 16 seconds left and Duke up by 3, the Terps' Steve Blake had the ball.
12 seconds now. Blake going against Duhon. He'll stop, take a deep three. It goes. A three-pointer from Blake. Here comes Duke with 5 seconds left. Jason Williams penetrates the runner up. It will not go. Tip of it in by Nate James with 1.3 seconds left. A baseball pass to midcourt. Dixon fires at the buzzer off the rim, and Duke wins it 84-82 over the Maryland Terrapins.
The finest tournament game in recent history closed in spectacular fashion. There was pandemonium in the Duke stands. On the floor, there were congratulations. 2 weeks later, Maryland and Duke would meet again in the National Championship's Final Four. The Devils would overcome a 22-point deficit to defeat the Terps on their way to the tournament final.
This is Championship Sunday at the 48th Annual Atlantic Coast Conference Basketball Tournament, and what a great way to crown the champion.
The breathtaking Duke-Maryland semifinal Saturday almost made people forget about the ACC's most notorious rivalry. Almost, but not quite. Situated 8 miles from one another, UNC and Duke share a mutual respect, admiration, and of course, loathing.
As much as we hate Duke, we still admire them, and as much as they hate us, I think they still admire us because of the way we carry ourselves, the way we do things, and the way the athletes carry themselves on and off the court. But we still hate them.
For the 10th time in the tournament's history, Duke and North Carolina are meeting on Championship Sunday.
Anytime you have Duke and Carolina playing, you're going to have a war in a sense, in the best sense of the word.
What do you think of this Carolina-Duke rivalry?
It's wild. It's unbelievable. It's really wild.
The best rivalry in college basketball, so I think it's great. Being a part of it is wonderful.
This Duke and UNC rivalry is something that you have to be there to really understand what's really going on with it. It's tremendous. The sportsmanship, the level of competition is tremendous. It's outstanding.
Some parents have split loyalties. Jason Capel Sr.'s son, Jeff, played for Duke in the mid-90s. Jeff's kid brother, Jason, stars for the Tar Heels team this year.
Right now, my favorite is North Carolina. But anytime they're not playing and Duke is playing, Duke is my second favorite. I have a lot of admiration for both programs, but right now I'm a Tar Heel fan at heart.
Have there been some interesting conversations between your two sons at home as to which team is the best?
It makes for very interesting Thanksgiving dinners.
But most family members have definite opinions.
Do you think Duke's going to win today?
Oh, absolutely. We're number one.
So do you think the Tar Heels have a good chance today?
Oh yeah, they're taking it. They're taking it on back Chapel Hill.
Carolina's ranked number 1, but they're coming off a devastating loss to Duke just 1 week ago. What are the Tar Heels' chances of bringing that championship back to Chapel Hill?
I give them good odds. They're a bigger team, probably the tallest team in the conference. So they got to really take care of the basketball and kind of pound it inside. But I've only seen Duke once in person. That was yesterday, and they're awful quick.
In only a few moments, the championship game will begin. The moments before the tip-off are often introspective ones. A calm pervades before the storm begins. Then the game started, and the Tar Heels drew first blood. Battier poured in 3 from the perimeter to put Duke ahead early. Then Brendan Haywood went to the boards twice, and the Tar Heels took the lead.
Quickly back in the corner to Forte. Down low to Haywood. Reverse layup is good.
Carolina showed some spark early with good D and some easy scores.
Got it out to Williams. Intercepted by Curry. Curry going front court. Driving layup is good. And it's 10-7.
But it's hard to keep Duke down for long. The Devil defense arose. And their shooting shown.
He shot fake, goes to the baseline, pull-up jumper gun. Mike Dunleavy.
The Tar Heels tried to keep pace.
Here's Forte, top of the foul circle for three, and it's 23-20.
But Duke piled on the points with a barrage of three-pointers. With Duke up by 9, Jason Williams connected on consecutive fast breaks.
Here goes Jason, back the other way, down inside, finger roll layup, count the bucket for Jason Williams. What a gutsy move.
The Tar Heel team showed signs of surrender, and Duke pounced on every error. Down by 20 with 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Carolina knew it had to start landing its shots.
Now Morrison gets it down low to Haywood. Haywood back out to Morrison, shoots the three, got it. 45-30.
But Duke answered right back with 2 buckets of their own. At the break, it was the Devils by 20. If Tar Heel fans were hoping for a Duke let-up in the second half, they were very disappointed. Duke continued to pile on the points and to sparkle on defense.
Capel spinning in the lane, faking, scoops up the shot, blocks Sanders.
Carolina could only sit and stare as the Tar Heels continued their on-court tailspin. The Devils continued to run away from the Heels, and the Carolina fans made their way toward the exits. But the Duke crowd relished every moment.
Go Duke!
A few UNC faithful stuck around.
Miserable day.
But for the most part, it was a dome full of Devils. The Devils had seized the game, and now they seize the moment. And, of course, the net. 2001 proved to be a banner year for the Atlantic Coast Conference. 6 ACC teams would compete in the NCAA championships. 2 of those teams would reach the Final Four, and Duke University would win its 3rd national crown under the tutelage of Coach Mike Krzyzewski. But the glory of the moment was the ACC crown, and for the 3rd consecutive year, it was hoisted by the men who wore the Blue Devil uniforms of Duke.